exciting. So I am Lauren and I'm here to talk to you all about oils, using your oils and using crystals. So honestly, everyone, it's so easy. So if you love using your oils and you really enjoy crystals as well, just use your intuition. So if you're one of those people that has a favorite oil and you just think, oh, I'm just going to go with it, it's exactly the same for crystals. So if you have ever sort of gone into a crystal shop like I did when I first got started, so I think so many of us have done it. You go in and you think, oh, I was really drawn to that, and then you find out what it is, and then you actually read up about what this crystal does, and you think, oh, that makes sense, doesn't it? So that's it, guys. So when we're using oils, when we're using crystals, it is just intuition. People often ask me, how does that work? Like, how do we know? That doesn't make sense? So as we know, sort of both of oils and crystals are both gifts from Mother Nature. So thank you, Mother Nature, for giving us such amazing gifts. And every living thing, or sort of like with the oils and crystals, they're scientifically found to have their own vibration. So as humans, we have vibration, and so do crystals and essential oils. And our bodies can pick up the vibrations that we need. So again, I come back to the oils. So you may be really drawn to an oil all of a sudden. You might think, oh, I'm going to diffuse it, I'm going to put it on my body, I'm going to bathe in it. And when you start to look at it further down the line, because our bodies can actually pick up what we need far before we do, because we actually only start to pick up ailments and things like that when we start to see symptoms, whereas our bodies are a lot more in tune. And yeah, that's why we're sort of drawn to these certain things. Yeah, so like I said, trust your body, and as we say, trust your gut. It is all about intuition. So I just wanted you to take a minute, just for a second, and I just want you to, like, in the chat or however you want to do it, have you been one of those people that has been so drawn to an oil and thought, why? Or there's one that you really hated and then all of a sudden you've just loved? Or have you walked into a crystal shop and thought, oh, I really need that? You know, it just fascinates me sort of how it all works. So I get sort of questions all the time. How do I use them? What do we do? Like, I've got crystal, I've got an oil. What do I do with it now? So before I go into anything else, I thought that might be quite handy. So as we run through a bit more information, you can think, oh, that's how I could do it this way. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sarah. So Sarah tends to be attracted to colours. So that's very interesting. So that will make a little bit more sense in a minute. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you for sharing. So one of the ways I love to use crystals and oils is I actually made my own chain, and this is an interchangeable one. Some of you may have diffuser jewellery that has crystals in it. So you can get the lava beads with the crystals, sort of the chakra crystals. So you can use your oils there and you'll get the goodness of the crystals as well. So you can wear your jewellery and you can just put some oil on your hand, and you can actually like anoint the crystals. So you get all the oil in, all the crystal goodness. So you're getting all that amazing sort of vibration and the healing from everything. So jewellery is a really lovely way to combine the two. And again, you can wear it on different, so if you like wearing it as a bracelet, as a necklace, really, really great way. And that's also a really lovely way for children. So children are so sensitive. I have crystals in both my children's bedrooms because my daughter is very sensitive to things, and bless their hearts, they don't always understand. So jewelry is always a really nice one. So if you know your kids love to wear bracelets, like you often see like amber necklaces and things like that for children. Amber's great for kids because like with their solar plexus, it's really, really great. Amber's a great one for working with that. And yeah, just when they're super sensitive, it's good to protect them as well. As I said, you can anoint your crystals. So as you often see, you can anoint parts of your body. You can do exactly the same with your crystals. So again, if you're drawn to a crystal, drawn to an oil, anoint it. It's absolutely fine. So make sure that the crystals are okay to get wet, because some crystals don't like to get wet. You have to be a little bit careful. So just make sure that they're safe, and you can anoint them. Again, super safe, super easy. And what you can also do is anoint yourself. So for me, I do a lot, as a lot of you know, I am a Reiki teaching master, and I will anoint my body, I will lay crystals, I give myself healing. Super simple too. And there's a really fun one, some of you may have already heard about it, is you can make a diffuser cauldron. So you'll see my diffuser behind me. What you can actually do is, I've actually done it, I won't move the laptop in case I do anything to it, but with the diffusers you can actually lay your crystals on top. So as the cold steam comes out, the mist comes out, it picks up on the crystals as well, so you get all of that lovely healing going up into the air with the oil as well. I also put crystals in, but I don't always recommend that. So if you're super new to crystals and you're not sure whether they can go in water, maybe just keep them on the top. So that's another really fun way of getting all of that goodness, sort of with crystals and oils. Okay, so those are just a few ways that I love to use crystals and oils together. So I just thought it would be really good to sort of bring in sort of, well, that's great, how does it work? You've told me crystals, oils, where do I use them? You've mentioned chakras, what's a chakra? I have no idea. So I love to teach this in the sense of chakra healing. So some of you may already know about chakras. I often work with the main 7, just while I'm teaching sort of an intros. So you have your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. When we talk chakras, these are energy centers in our body, and they project out to the aura as well. So they are parts of our body or areas of our body. And when we have problems with these energy centers, that's when we start to get certain problems in our body. So if just for instance, like the throat is the thymus, so you can often find that throat chakra, if something's wrong, you can end up with sore throats, problems with, yeah, all things sort of in that area. And it can also knock other areas out. So it's very, very important that we keep our energy centers clear, and that is where crystals and oils are so, so beneficial. So when we're talking what crystals to use, each chakra has its own color. So when we look at the root chakra, which is right at the bottom, so bottom of the spine, this is red. So again, for an intros class, I tell people, follow the rainbow. So I'm telling you the root, or some people call it root, some call it base, is red. You would look to use a red crystal. So for me, I love to use red jasper. I know it looks a bit like a brick, but this is raw red jasper. I love to use this. And your root chakra is all about your grounding, your survival. It's the very primal sort of, yeah, if you think sort of primal instincts, that's kind of what your root chakra is for. It's our grounding to Mother Earth. So if you're one of those people that, you know, your head is in the clouds, you don't feel grounded at all, you're a bit all over the place, maybe you're someone that's just a bit like, nah, like your survival instinct, you're kind of, I don't care, whatever. It could be that your root chakra is out, because chakras can be underactive, which will give you the meh, or they can be overactive. So they can be both ways, but the crystals can help either way, and as can the oils. So for me, when I'm working with my root chakra, I love to use the red jasper, as I said, and I love to use arbor vitae at the moment. And I just feel this is a really solid oil And for me, this is just for me in my time at the moment, it's being steadfast, it's standing strong, but also high up in the heavens, like they reach up to the heavens. And with our Vitae, a lot of you may know that it's very hard to break down that wood. It's very protected, and that's what that oil does. And that's how I feel. I want to feel grounded. I still want my spirituality, and I also want that you're not going to bring me down. So that's what I love to use for the root chakra. If that's helpful for anyone, I hope it is. And also, you'll probably hear lots of different combinations. And I just want to put it out there, no one is wrong. That you are never wrong. If you feel like you want to work on your root chakra, but you want to use a pink crystal, you go for it. There is no wrong, there is no right. Crystals are exactly the same as oils. They have side benefits, not side effects. So always remember that. So I might tell you something tonight and you may read something different in a book. That's fine. That's fine. And you might find something different yourself. And yeah, so never ever think, oh, but Lauren told me this. If you feel you need to do something different, absolutely go for it. That's cool. That's fine. You go for it. So we've spoken about the root chakra from the essence of time, the sacral. So this is just below the belly button, and this resonates as orange. And the sacral chakra is all about your pleasure center, as you can imagine, what sort of reproductive organs and things like that in that area. And it's also your creativity, it's your fight or flight. And it's kind of, you know, where's your inner strength? And you often hear that with the sacral, it's kind of when this chakra is in a really good way, you'll find that the rest of the chakras are in a great way. Because this is, you know, we live life, don't we? We want to live life. We want to do things that bring us pleasure. We want to be creative. You know, we want to have that fun. And it's really important that we do keep that one. That's often one for me that is often out, and you will find a lot of us sometimes have an unbalanced sacral chakra. Again, that is fine. That's no problem. So when I work with the sacral chakra, I often use, oh, there it is. I often use carnelian, again, orange. And at the moment, when I'm doing my healing, I love to use wild orange. So wild orange for me is bright, it's zesty, it brings me pleasure just to smell it. And I'm really drawn to it when I pick up my carnelian. I think because it's orange, I think orange and that kind of area. Yeah, it's just something that I'm really drawn to. But I've also used ylang-ylang as well on the sacral chakra. So again, pleasure center and things like that. And carnelian, if you haven't got a carnelian, I really, I really rate carnelian, and you often find a lot of crystal healers do, because it's a real sort of feel better stone. And it's really great for boosting your courage and your self-esteem. So when we're talking about pleasure and creativity, we often get put in a box, don't we? And we feel, I don't have that freedom to do that. I don't feel brave enough to do that. I don't feel brave enough to go down a different road. I really find that carnelian, and for me, using that wild orange has really, really helped. You know, that wild orange brings that abundance of creativity to me, that abundance of pleasure. It brings me lots of what I want. So that's something that I've really loved working with recently when I'm doing my own healing. Okay, so let's go solar plexus. Solar plexus, as I said, is a really key one. And for me, this again is one that's often out, because I know for me, I'm very loud and animated, but I actually struggle with my confidence a lot of the time. And I get very anxious sort of before I come and speak, and that's just me. And I often find that my solar plexus needs a lot of work. So if you're someone like me that struggles with their confidence at points, or maybe that's all the time, or you do struggle with your anxieties, or you have that self-doubt, and I say stress, but I mean, you know, that nervous stress, and that can often be your solar plexus. So the solar plexus is above the back, just above the belly button. So you know when you get those butterflies, when you get really nervous, that's usually that's the solar plexus, and it goes all over the place. And it's not good for us to be in that state of almost that I say fight or flight, but you know when the adrenaline kicks in and you're like, oh my God, and it is that nervous, you don't know what to do with yourself. It's not good for us to be in that state. Our body should not have that adrenaline in our system for a long, long time. So we need to be very, very careful of that. And that's where you can use your oils and use your crystals to help calm that. So for me, if I'm wanting to sort of get that real kind of zest for life, feel more confident, I often use the oils that I love to use are tangerine, because it's all about the fun, isn't it? Tangerine is all about the fun. And I also use peppermint. So peppermints give me that real zing, and it's like, do you know what? You might be scared. Let's go do it anyway. And you often enjoy what you do, don't you? And I love to use yellow jasper for my solar plexus. So that's a yellow jasper, and this is really good for that nervous tension. That's what I often use it for. But because at the moment I've put myself on a real journey, I am actually in here. You might be able to see my citrine. So citrine is really good at sort of when you're manifesting, and it's quite a calming stone. But at the moment, yeah, so for me citrine is really good for manifesting. I know what I want to do, and it's pushing me forward to go and do that, and it's working sort of with my solar plexus. And another oil that I also love to use, this, as I say, this is an area that I love to work on, is coriander. Not one that usually people pop into people's minds, but coriander on that area really helps to work with the lungs, and it really helps to move that energy around the body. And when we think of lungs, it's that breathing in. So we're breathing in the new, we're releasing the old. And this is something that I've really have found helps me, especially again with that nervous tension. And neroli, if you've ever got any neroli and you are feeling that you are feeling really anxious, get some neroli on that solar plexus, as it really helps soothe that anxious like butterfly feeling. It gets rid of sort of old feelings that you're worrying about, things that you're carrying with you. And it's actually the highest frequency citrus oil, so it is very, very powerful in what it does. So again, just a few that I love to use. Next we're going to move up to the heart chakra. So we're just talking about this one here. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Sharon. Sorry, I'm just going to stop there. I'm just going to check. Oh, Sharon, I will tell you your throat in a moment. We're just going to get to that. So, and again, Sharon, when I say using it on the specific area, I was gonna talk you through, but I'll tell you now, because I probably should have started that. So when we're talking about a certain area, the way I love to do this is, if you're thinking, oh, my solar plexus is out, you can put the oil straight there. So you know, just put that on the solar plexus. The oil can go straight there. I use a long chain. You'll see that my chain is very long, and it actually dangles down by my solar plexus. So you keep that crystal there like that. If you can keep it in a pocket. So crystals will work like oils. You can wear them anywhere in your on your body. So if you put it in your pocket, if you carry it with you, if you have it on a smaller chain and you need it to go to your root, that's fine. The energy works just like the oils. It will get to where it needs to. Another way that I love to do it as well is I actually just lay down. I just put them on my body. That simple. Go and have a sleep. Chuck one on your forehead. It's great. Gives me an excuse to get away from the kids for 15 minutes. So that's how I love to do it. So don't worry. So if you think, oh God, I've got to put a stone on the base chakra, don't worry, you haven't. You can wear it on your wrist, you can wear, like I said, on a short chain. It's absolutely fine. So I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry for not doing that at the beginning, so don't panic. So if anyone needs to get away from the kid for 20 minutes and go put crystals on and oils, I highly recommend it. Where did I get to? I got to heart, didn't I? Yes, heart, green. So heart is sort of, if you can see, sort of probably sort of breastbone in the center, and this is all about our unconditional love. This is also a lot of our well-being, because you often find if something's really hurt you and you've got really upset and you feel a bit broken-hearted over things, that can really affect the rest of us. So this is a major healing center, and you will often find that there's a strong sort of relationship between your sort of upper chakras and your heart, because we need to balance our head and our heart, don't we? Because you will often find that you're someone that's very, as you say, you take emotion out of all decision. You go in head first, whereas someone like me is all driven by emotion. So it's very important that we keep this in check. So as I say, it's all about the unconditional love, all about your well-being. And when we think of love, we think of pink as well, don't we? So when I'm doing healing, I often teach people a green or a pink crystal for your heart. That's absolutely fine. So people, I think everybody knows what this is, a rose quartz. I think everybody's got one. I think when everybody starts out with crystals, you either go for amethyst or a rose quartz or a clear quartz. That's what I often find when I teach anyway. And that's fine. So nice little, well, not little, but yeah, rose quartz for your heart. Again, just really sort of just nice and calming. You know, this is all about unconditional love. So if you're thinking, you know, I give out all my love, I never get any back, this really helps open up that channel of, you don't just have to give, you can receive as well. So if someone pays you a compliment, are you one of those people like, oh no, no, don't, no. It's because you haven't got that self-love. You give so much to others. Just say thank you. And this is what I'm going to challenge everyone watching and anyone watching the recording, is for your heart chakra to help us with this. If someone pays you a compliment, please just say thank you and hear it, please, because we're all so kind, aren't we? We're all happy to say, like, thank you, Sharon, you mentioned my hair when we came on, and you noticed, thank you very much. However, I haven't got, we never just say thank you and accept it. So that's my challenge to all of you. So for me, when I'm working on my heart chakra, I love rose. Sorry, guys. I know it's one of those oils, but rose is a wonderful one. Unconditional love, give, take. It's a brilliant one for that. But another one you can use as well, because I do know rose is expensive and I understand, is thyme. So not many people know, but you can use thyme on your heart chakra, and it's very good for cleansing that area and also great for releasing and forgiving. So if you're someone that holds a grudge, finds it hard to forgive people, use a bit of thyme on your heart chakra and all will be forgiven. Okay, so next we move up to your throat chakra. So we were talking about, I think we're talking about the throat chakra. So for anyone struggling with your throat chakra, this is light blue. And this is all about speaking your truth, finding that balance, and also sort of the harmony. So finding harmony between what you're thinking, what you're feeling is very, very important. So if you're someone that may be struggling and you have throat issues, are you saying what you need to say? Is that in check? Because if you have problems in this area, it may be really great for you to do some chakra work. So with your throat chakra, you will use a light blue crystal if you're someone. So this is a blue lace agate. This is raw. You'll see the white lines running through. This is a very calming stone. Again, so just laying it on, really gentle. And it helps us in finding the right way to say things at the right time. So really able to speaking our truth and being effective. And it also helps with emotional balance. So if you're really, really wanting to say something, and again, can't find the words, super angry, this is a great one. So I've got, Sarah, what's this one? This is throat chakra, and this is a blue lace agate. So you'd lay it on your throat. And for this, lavender. Lavender is absolutely phenomenal. As we know, it's oil of communication. I wouldn't be anywhere without my lavender on my throat chakra. So every time I come to talk, my lavender's on there. I probably reek of it, but it really helps. So if you're someone struggling with that, I really, really recommend it. Okay, so we are now on third eye. So this is whistle. So I could talk about this all day, so I'm trying to be super, super quick for you all. Third eye. This is deep blue, so indigo. And this is your intuition center. This is your seeing clearly and sort of almost your harmony. So as I say, thinking, being level-headed, and just seeing things for what they are. Don't be one of those people that you see something and then you read 100 different things from it. Just see it for what it is. And when our third eye chakra is in check, that is exactly what you'll do. And for me, I love to use, and it's fallen off, is a lapis lazuli, which really helps bring clarity, helps bring into your inner wisdom, and it also really helps balance the yin and yang energy. So yin and yang is the male and feminine energies, and we actually need both. So it really helps bring in. So if you're someone mild, so you're more of a feminine energy powers, lapis lazuli can really help to bring in a little bit more of the male energy, and you actually start to stand. It's like, no, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not happy doing that. And and it helps you do it in the right way, but it will help balance those energies for you. And when I am using sort of the lapis lazuli for my third eye, I actually really like to use sandalwood. So I find sandalwood really actually helps settle my mind, and it's almost like I get like a heaviness with it, and it's always like, it's, you get those comfort blankets that are weighted. It's almost like a comfort blanket for my brain. So it kind of quietens it and just shushes it a little bit. And I find that I'm able to get more clarity in thought. I hear what my guides and people that I'm working, like angels, things like that, see, I can really hear what they're saying to me. And I get far more clarity than when I've used other oils. Again, people may have different preference, and I'm just speaking from personal experience. So the final one we have is the crown chakra. So at the top of the head. So this is a fun one. So when you lay down on your pillow, you can just sort of balance it on the top of your head. I love doing this. Or you can just, practice your etiquette classes and walk around with a crystal on your head. That's fine. You can do it whichever way you wish. And this is all about your spirit, sort of who you are. This is who you are, and how you let that transform into the world. And it's also your connection to the divine. So the people that work upstairs above us that we don't usually see, is how we're connected to them and how we get our guidance and sort of our connection to that, which is always amazing to me. I love it. And I love to use amethyst. So I think everyone's got an amethyst. So we're thinking like the violet ray sort of for the crown. So amethyst is really good because it's very calming. Again, if you haven't got one and you're wanting to get into crystals, really, really great one. And it is like the Swiss Army knife of crystals. We have lavender as the Swiss Army knife of oils. Amethyst is, to me, the Swiss Army knife of crystals. So if you don't know what to use, grab an amethyst. It's fab. It works on pretty much anything. And it really helps release those false ideas. So if you're someone that sees yourself in a different light to what everybody else does, which I think a lot of us do, amethyst releases us from that, and we actually start to have a real look in the mirror moment, and we see our worth. We see how amazing we are. And I love to use frankincense. in this whole, see how amazing we are. And it's, frankincense gives us that connection to divine, and it's like we are all divine beings, we are all wonderful and deserve to be appreciated and celebrated in our own way. And I find this very, very special. So if you're someone that does feel that you need to work on your crown, yeah, so amethyst and frankincense. And if you're someone that loves to do meditation, and you may be used to crystals, you may want to try a spirit quartz, but it is quite strong. So if you're new to crystals, maybe try an amethyst first. But a spirit quartz is amazing because it will really enhance your meditation, and it also helps you give insight into yourself. So if you're doing maybe some inner child work, you're doing a bit of soul searching, things like that, self-discovery, spirit quartz can be really, really great. And it also gives you that real sense of belonging. So it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, you'll belong wherever you need to belong. Okay, so that's sort of the crystals and some of the oils that I love to use. I hope that's been insightful. Yeah, I just, for me, I wondered if there's sort of any questions that you want to put in the chat or anything like that. So I've explained sort of some of the crystals that I like to use and some of the oils that I use with them. Again, oh, can you say a touch more on spirit walks? Sarah, what did you mean by spirit walks, my lovely? Sorry. I'm thinking, please don't say there's a question in there that I can't answer. Oh, spirit walks. No, sorry. Sorry, Sarah. No, spirit quartz. Sorry, that's me not pronouncing. No, spirit quartz. So I haven't got mine on me at the moment, but it's incredible. Yeah, so Sarah, I know you meditate, so it might be a nice one. Nice one for you to use. Yeah, so I just wanted to ask if anyone had any questions. As I say, I could talk about this all night long and your bums will go numb. I am very much hoping to do something a lot more in depth for you all, and I am hoping to also go into like an intro course with crystals that actually uses the top 10. So very excited to do that for you all. Yeah, so I was also going to add very quickly, if you are new to using crystals, a lot of people and a lot of my clients will just buy crystals and go and use them straight away. Just my final thing this evening is, if you go and buy crystals, please don't just walk away from the shop and start using them straight away. Please make sure you go home and cleanse them, just because crystals will pick up energies. So if lots of people handle them, you will pick up other people's energies. So if you are female and wanting to use your crystals, a lovely way that I love to cleanse my crystals is actually leave them on the side out in the moonlight. So the moon is feminine energy. So if it's a female using the crystals, it's very good to cleanse it in feminine energy. So if you get new ones, leave it on the side or in the moonlight, and just let the moon use her energy to cleanse them for you. If you're male, it's the sun. So leave them outside in the sun. Don't worry if it's a cloudy day, it's still going to work. Just leave them out in the daylight, and that cleanses them as well. And also get to know your crystals. I know this sounds really silly, but you'll probably get to know your oils. So the more you use them, the more you get to know them. The more you use your crystals, hold them, get to know their energy, the better connection you have with them, the more you understand them. So when you get your new crystals, cleanse them. And then I often tell my clients, hold them in both hands and have that thought in your head and in your heart, I will use you for the greatest good. And just send that down to your crystal, holding it. And you will feel that energy. And when you feel that energy stop, that's when you've cleansed your crystals, and that's when you've charged it. So when you've cleansed it and you've told it you're going to use it for the greatest good, then you're good to go. You can use it as which way you want to use. So that's me done, everyone. I'm sorry that's been so quick. I hope it's all made sense. And a whistle stop tour of the chakras. Yeah, that's all from me. It's been so lovely to speak to you all, as you know, super passionate, and I'm really honoured that you've come to listen to me waffle on about my crystals and oils. So yes, I hope you all have the most amazing evening. Thank you for coming. I love you all so much. Love and light to all of you. And please, please, let me know if you get any new crystals, and if you're new to them, I'd love to know how you get on. Please message me, find me on Facebook, WhatsApp, however you want to message me. I'd love to know. All right. Love to you all, everyone.